Hamzambo family, welcome to the Rhythm Scoop Show right here on the Blackwood Fire Network Media for the 21st century being on a fantastic Tuesday afternoon. It's actually 18 minutes to 4 p.m. right here in Nairobi. I hope that wherever this particular day finds you, it finds you in good health, because I've come to believe that your health is your wealth. And of course, if you are not doing well health-wise, we also wish you our quickest of our recoveries. My name is Spikes, alongside my co-host Joby.
Karibuni sana to the Rhythm Scoop Show, and of course, as Spike said, we hope you are doing great. And the month of September is driving you in a positive, with positive vibrations. Karibuni sana. Do remember to interact with us. We are on Facebook at the Black of Fire Network radio station, on Twitter at the Black of Fire Network, and also you can find us on Instagram as you get to tell us how you are spending your day to day, and if you are looking forward, rather if you have achieved whatever you are to achieve this particular day. Karibuni sana. You can also call us in, SMS us, or WhatsApp us at the +2547544020730. We are looking forward to having an amazing conversation.
And that is exactly true. And today we are also looking forward to motivate and inspire the family right here on the Rhythm Scoop Show. On the Rhythm Scoop Show, we talk about arts, life, and culture, and we understand that life, of course, happens when we are sort of busy trying to achieve other things, but we have to be very careful not to forget the important values of life. One of them happens to be integrity. I want to share with us some quotes, some wonderful quotes, and these has to do with integrity. One of them actually just say, a grateful heart is a beginning for greatness. A grateful heart is a beginning for greatness. I've seen some people live without gratitude whatsoever, and they do hope that at some point they will still stumble onto greatness. It's very difficult for you to stumble or for you to achieve greatness without really having show some gratitude.
I think it's the art of where you need to appreciate the least that you have for you to have greater, or rather more than what you really what you need for you to attract even what you need. So that is the art of greatness.
That is exactly what we aspire to also impact on people today. Some people might look at the show and wonder what is the takeout from this particular one. We are looking forward to discussing the different matters taking place on the continent of Africa, and we shall also be letting you know what's with the new situation in Guinea now that they have had a military coup that has actually been orchestrated over last weekend. What is happening with that particular nation? We shall be getting to update you on that, but before then, let me share with us some more wonderful vibes to do with greatness. It says some people are born great, some people achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Some people are born great, some people achieve greatness, and some people have greatness thrust upon them. So it might be either way. You might actually stumble into greatness, in places that perhaps you would have thought, you will never find yourself in. So whatever path life really gets you on, and just make sure that you're working towards your greatness. They do say for anyone to become a master over anything, or for you to have greatness over any kind of an art. Let me even talk about art. You have to put in thousands and thousands of hours. I understand 10,000 hours is the rule. If you're trying to become a great at something, then you have to invest a lot of time in it. And yes, some people are born great with innate talent. Other people work towards getting that particular kind of natural ability, and others also greatness is thrust upon them. So in whatever kind of a way or whatever kind of predisposition that you and greatness do have, make sure that you are really working consistently towards whatever you want to be great at. Like I said, you can get interactive with us on our social media platforms. We are on Twitter. Just search for Black Hot Fire. You can also find us on Instagram, Black Hot Fire Network, and also on Facebook, Black Hot Fire Network Radio Station. I did hint a little bit earlier that there has been a matter going on in the Guinea. And in Guinea right now, I did see a lot of people in a celebratory mode trying to go out and dance with the jubilation because of the removal of the former president. His name is Alpha Conde. Alpha Conde was voted in a controversial election where he still won the vote for a third term. And people really knew what did happen. There was a rigging. People went out to vote. There was also voter suppression. There was also a lot of irregularities with that recent election. But nonetheless, he was still declared the winner of an election where he had actually also tried to maneuver around the constitution and change the constitution to allow him to get another term, and which was labeled unconstitutional because once your term is over, if you are a president and you ought to serve for you ought to serve for 2 terms, each term being about 5 years, There is no way you'll get to your 8th year or to your 9th year and then start talking about we need to change the constitution for a president to be allowed to stay in for about 4 terms or 5 years each. That is being greedy, and that is what he had been working towards.
That is the same thing that has been happening. It's happening right now in Kenya, actually, because you can see Uhuru is fighting so hard. Them and Raila trying to pass the BBI and of course to change the constitution, which they are saying it is to help the citizen, but it is not. Definitely, we know it's there for their own benefit. And of course, speaking of the matters of happiness, I did also get to see some Kenyans, being overjoyed about the same issue.
In Guinea?
Yeah, they really reacted towards it in a positive way. Like they are happy because that guy was really overthrown, or rather, the power was really being taken away from him. So it seems like the same issue is reflecting with Kenyans. They are tired, because you're trying to do what is against the government of the law of the government, because you're trying to do what is benefiting you, forgetting that they are also citizens who are in need.
A lot of times you'll find those leaders not care much about what happens to the citizen. It's they doing it for themselves and making sure that they want to stay in power, because what I have realized is that they want to extend their tenure. For most all African leaders who are puppet leaders, they always seek to extend their tenure so that they can be able to keep on protecting their wealth. Most of this wealth is stolen. So
have you seen the crisis that has been going around about Ruto? Because this guy is super rich.
Because of his security?
No, about the matters of richness, the things that he owns.
Wealth he has.
Yeah, the wealth he has. It's like
he was claiming that most of those items listed are not his. That was a spokesperson from Ruto saying no. Most of these items that have been disclosed here,
I don't believe so. Of course, these people have been stealing money. And of
so
course
what they do
something out of the game, which we cannot really see. So when the truth comes out, they're definitely going to deny it. So
for what happens with most of these leaders is that they know what most of their wealth is gotten from illegal means. It's stolen property. So they do not want anyone else to come into power and ask them to return this wealth that is stolen. That is why you will find most of them trying to extend their tenure. Most of them will go on to different heights, even to suppress the voters, or even to suppress anyone else that might be a voice of dissent. If you go into a place like Gabon, we did have Ali Bongo. Ali Bongo is also another leader that has been serving for a very, very long time. And you'll also find he is another dynasty because his father was also the president in this country. So you'll find for most countries in Africa where we do have the incumbent president being from a lineage of power in the same family, it means that they are there to protect their wealth. Even if there was to be any kind of a calamities that taking place, they will not be much, disturbed with what is happening, or the kind of a suffering that the people are actually facing right there. They will continue without any regard to the people's suffering. But nonetheless, I won't take
that is true. Actually, I remember, is it yesterday that I found you guys speaking about Kibaki? Because when you look at the likes of how our country has been ruled. It started with Jomo Kenyatta, right? The father of the president that we have currently. Then it went with Moi. I think in terms of Moi, when he was ruling, the country was way better. People didn't have so many complaints, rather even any complaint, because I think he ruled, with justice. He didn't allow, some sort of nonsense. As much as there was maybe some things that were going, on in the public eye, he had the good figure. The same way with Kibaki, he did change, the Kenya a little bit. He did something. But when you look at the government of Uhuru, it has been a government of crisis.
It's mostly aggressive. Instead of going forward, we're going back. We're going backward.
Theft, debt, and a lot of things that are ongoing. Corruption, and so many things. Injustice.
That is why you find a lot of people being, angered, and also being not being satisfied with the way the government is being run. But yes, next year we do have an elections in Kenya. It's taking place on August, from August 12th next year, and therefore people do have the opportunity a little bit to go and change matters. But moving away from that, I won't take us all the way into Tigray. Tigray is one of the regions in Ethiopia where we have had a lot of fighting, and this is because the government forces, or the federal government forces, have been fighting the TPLF, which is the Tigray People Liberation Front, and the women and the children have become the biggest casualties in this war. Every other time that you do have war, whether be it in Ethiopia, whether be it in Sudan, whether be it in the DRC, whether be it in Uganda, or wherever you will find war in Africa, women bear the bitter blunt over this whole burden, because these are the women trying to raise their children. They have small babies, and they have to be able to move around with them, even when there is the need for people to move abruptly without any kind of a warning. So it becomes very, very difficult, especially for women who are mothers of many, many children. It's very, very difficult for anyone to be able to make that transition. Sometimes you do find the women losing their children I'm not saying that the fathers have not lost their children, but I'm saying the women and the children bear the bigger burden when it comes to this. So right now we are hearing about a situation in Tigray where women, where people are going hungry. And of course, there was a report that was put out sometimes back by the United Nations Security Council, stating that about 1.8 million people were at the brink of a famine, and this is in the Tigray region. So things have become very, very much dire, and I do believe that the need for the humanitarian assistance would have been subverted if at all people did stop the fighting when this call was made by the African Union to go and have ceasefire, in the fighting between the TPLF and the federal government. So there have been some governments outside, for example, the US did send aid to Ethiopia to go and help out in this matter of the crisis. Let me share a little bit of these. I hope the family can get the audio, but this is what is happening with the nation of Ethiopia, where we are seeing many families almost go and dying out of hunger because of the famine in this region. For most people that were involved in farming before, their farming was interrupted. And that is why we do have a situation like we do have right here in Ethiopia. Let me see if I can. There was about